I'm willing to bet that you didn't find this video by searching, "How can I work like Tony Stark?" But hey, if you did, virtual fist bump. I mean, come on. Why would it occur to anyone to learn to work like Tony Stark? Because the way he approaches his work, this is his superpower. I know, Iron Man is the superhero, but who built the Iron Man? And for that matter, if we're following the MCU continuity, who made Jarvis or Vision? Granted, there was something of an oopsie-daisy between Jarvis and Vision, but I mean, come on, learning curve. Point is, Tony Stark is the architect of these heroes. He is the creator, the designer. So with that as a backdrop, let's take a look at what makes his approach to work so unique. Consummate tinkerer. The man tinkers obsessively. He's never satisfied with the current iteration. Everything is a work in progress or a work in iteration. When something becomes obsolete and no longer supports his vision, he discards it. Nothing he creates is sacred. When it no longer serves a purpose, it's out. Zero sentimentality. This allows him to efficiently iterate at an astonishing pace.
What is that, like Mark 15?
Yeah. Something like that. Everybody needs a hobby.
Dedicated developer. Stark understands that the development process requires idea generation and screening, prototyping, testing, analysis, iteration, and retesting over and over until he comes up with a working solution. Whereas others might be dissuaded by the slow pace of progress and the countless setbacks, calling them failures, Stark knows that these are not failures but results, and each result gets him that much closer to his vision. Extreme bias toward action. Stark doesn't get bogged down in the minutiae of things. Questions, ambiguity, and imperfect understanding of the environment. None of this stands in his way.
Stark, we need a plan of attack.
I have a plan. Attack.
He pushes all this aside, rolls up his sleeves, and gets shit done. He has total confidence in his competence, and so is able to overcome doubt and uncertainty when it threatens to slow his progress. And it does. More about that in a moment. Mostly informed risk-taking. Tony Stark's risk tolerance is biblical. Of course, a fail-fast approach to innovation requires a certain degree of risk. Add to this the nature of his product, a flying suit of armor bristling with military-grade weaponry, and you've got yourself an apocalyptically high-risk situation. Yet even in this environment, the man's capacity for risk is beyond what any reasonable person would consider rational. The linchpin to this behavior is Stark's faith in his rapid problem-solving skills. No matter what goes wrong, he is supremely confident in his ability to engineer a solution in real time. Resourcefulness compounded. Stark uses his resources according to their possible application, not merely their designed function. This compounds the potential of his resources immeasurably. Where others see an explicit object, Stark sees raw materials with functional attributes. This allows him to efficiently use the resources available to him, regardless of what these materials were originally designed to do. Prefers to work alone. Tony Stark prefers to work alone, though can work with others if they bring something valuable to the equation. But even then, it generally has to be on his terms. If others try to rein him in and impose their conditions upon him, he'll just walk away and do his own thing. It's about moving quickly and fully committing to his vision.
So you're going for artificial intelligence and you don't want to tell the team?
Right. That's right. You know why? Because we don't have time for a city hall debate. I don't want to hear the man was not meant to meddle medley. I see a suit of armor around the world.
As it's said, faster alone, further together, a phrase that I first heard, ironically, from Robert Downey Jr. Stark knows his style of work allows him to work fast, so he relies on his genius to make up the further side of the equation. Unconcerned with the feelings of others. The man doesn't concern himself with the feelings of others or the prevailing sentiment in the room. He's unwavering in his convictions and isn't much worried whether others agree with him or not. When debating an issue, he's not so much trying to get to the truth as much as figure out who he can rely on and, well, who he needs to isolate. Doesn't do well with authority. Stark is a self-anointed authority unto himself. He doesn't bother with asking whether he can do what he feels needs to be done. He practices assumed responsibility and takes it upon himself to take decisive action. He doesn't ask permission, nor does he ask forgiveness. What he does ask for is understanding of his motives and intent. To Stark, his motives and intent is all the mandate he needs to take action.
Did he give you anything on Rogers?
No, told me to go to hell. I'm going back to the compound instead, but you can call me anytime. I'll put you on hold. I'd like to watch the line blink.
Doesn't back down. Stark never backs down from a fight. In fact, he relishes confrontation. Physical, intellectual, ideological, it's all fair game for a solid beatdown. There are many reasons for this. First, he's intensely competitive. This fierce competitiveness drives him forward, never allowing him to be content with what he has or sit on his laurels. He's also devoted to his convictions, rejecting anything that might set him off course. All of this, coupled with his need to win and control the situation, makes him ferocious in a confrontation.
You throw another moon at me, and I'm gonna lose it.
Builds his way out of bouts of melancholy. As confident, arrogant, and narcissistic as Stark is, he's also racked by doubts and insecurities. This often sends him spiraling into bouts of melancholy.
Really, just breathe. You're a mechanic, right?
Right.
You said so.
Yes, I did.
Why don't you just build something?
Okay.
Thanks, kid.
When this happens, his antidote is work. Obsessive, relentless work.
But honey, I can't sleep. You go to bed, I come down here, I do what I know. I tinker. Threat is imminent, and I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without. That's you.
Work is his safe place, his refuge from the demons that vex him. Building brings focus and control, calming his thoughts and bringing him back to center and reminding him of what really matters, his vision. As I examine Tony Stark's working style, this is what I see, but I'd be really curious to hear your thoughts on the matter. Furthermore, in a previous video, I explored how we can become like Batman. Now, my thesis for this video was, yeah, we can. We can be like Batman. But to do so would, oh my gosh, it would require so much work and a complete physical and psychological makeover, far more than I want to do. On the other hand, learning to work like Tony Stark, or at least bringing the best elements of his style to our own approach, this is doable. This is something we can systematize. So, yeah, kind of exciting stuff, or at least I think so. So there you go. All right. Hey, thanks for joining, and until we talk again, have a fantastic day. Hey, and a great big thank you to my supporters. Those on Patreon, we have Cameron Horton, Trish Scott, and Chelsea Rigby, and our YouTube community member, Move in Death. I really deeply appreciate your support. Thank you very much. If you would like to support me as well, there are links in the description to Patreon and the YouTube member community. All right. Hey, thanks a lot, and we'll talk again soon.